Good day everyone, I am Grace Christine and I will be continuing the discussion of the last part of Module 8, which is all about the educational approaches in learning with specific learning disabilities. Let's start first with reading instruction. Reading is one of the basic literacies that every learner must develop in order to pursue higher learning. Sinasabi dito that reading is an important component of a well-rounded reading and writing program for children. Pero bago natin alamin kung ano nga ba yung mga educational approaches na maaari natin gawin sa mga bata, kailangan muna natin na maging aware kung anong level nga ba yung kayang gawin ng students, like yung reading skills, in order to better develop reading programs kung saan yung teacher mas ma-identify niya kung ano nga ba yung dapat na gawing reading test sa mga student, if it is non-reader or hindi pa sila ganong masyadong magaling, and yung parang so magaling na siya sa compare sa level ng kanyang age. Let's begin with literacy programs such as reading to children. Reading to children is an essential for developing a love of reading, vocabulary, and language comprehension sa mga bata. It is, yung example nito ay yung pagpaparinig sa kanila ng mga stories kung saan may expose sila sa mga new words, new structures of sentences, and different writing styles, shared book and writing experiences. Ito naman is it involves adults and children reading and writing together, kung saan nagkakaroon sila ng engagement sa conversation ng mga text, syempre yung connections nila sa mga experiences. It promotes language development, comprehension, and the shared love of literacy. Sa phonemic awareness training naman, ito yung makatutulong sa mga bata para maintindihan yung mga sounds within words. Yung mga example na activities is like rhyming, sound blending, and sound segmentation na makatutulong sa bata to expand their knowledge and manipulate sounds. Organize explicit phonics decoding instruction and practice. Ito naman is nagpo-focus on teaching the relationship between letters and sounds. Children learn to sound out words, blend sounds together, and apply phonics rules to decode unfamiliar words. Like for example, yung letter C, di ba binibigkas siya as k, parang K. And binasahan mo yung student ng cat and cup, so sa susunod maaari na nilang mabasa yung mga ibang nagsisimula sa letter C, like yung cow, di ba? So yung oral language development and listening experiences naman is this involves activities like storytelling, conversations, and listening to books. Yung audiobooks, yung may sounds. It helps your children to expand their vocabulary and improve listening comprehension and develop their ability to express themselves clearly. Systematic vocabulary development. This involves teaching children new words or sounds depending on their meaning and how to use them in context. This is done through different or direct instruction, reading, and activities that promote word learning. Ito yung kapag nagbigay ka ng new words is alam niya nila yung kung ano ibig sabihin nun and magagamit na nila yun sa pagsusulat, like yung paragraphs and sentences. Proceed na tayo sa next page. Dito naman is sa guided reading with attention to comprehension. I-group mo yung children para magbasa ng books depending on their instruction level. Individualized reading lessons with attention to construction of meaning. Dito naman is yung pag-one-on-one sa students para i-support mo yung understanding nila sa text. Like for example, yung di ba after nilang magbasa, i-explain mo sa kanila kung ano yung meaning ng binasa nila para ma-clarify sila, lalo na sa mga confusing parts. So, mas maintindihan nila yung dinidiscuss. Sustained silent reading, dito naman parang sa higher year na to, like sa secondary education. Parang pababasahin mo sila ng mag-isa lang sa tahimik na lugar. So, mas makaka-focus sila. Modeling of writing skills and techniques. This involves demonstrating how to write clearly, effectively, and engagingly. Teachers model different writing styles, strategies, and techniques to help students learn, like when and how to use a punctuation marks. Opportunities for writing everyday naman is parang binibigyan mo ng chance yung students na magsulat araw-araw. Like for example, kami nung elementary, meron kaming spelling booklet. So, doon sa spelling booklet, syempre papa-spelling ni ma'am yung mga words. And, so doon, ma-enhance mo yung pag-write and read mo. Or ng students, rather. Content area, reading and writing naman, ito yung nakafocus lang sa specific subjects para mas ma-enhance yung skills nila sa context ng subject na yun. Instruction and practice in editing naman, tinuturuan mo yung children na i-check yung sarili nilang gawa na writing, kung saan kaya na nilang i-identify kung ano nga ba yung errors na grammar nila, yung spelling and punctuation. And the last one for reading instruction is ongoing diagnosis, kung saan nagkakaroon ka ng evaluation sa students mo para ma-assess kung ano pa yung dapat nilang i-adjust or matutunan. And ito na rin yung support for them to further have knowledge. Phonemic awareness naman tayo. It is one of the foundational skills for a learner to become an effective reader is to build his or her phonemic awareness. It is important that explicit training in phonemic awareness to identify learners with SLD would be a good start for successful reading. Dito naman, hindi ko na masyadong i-elaborate, pero ito lang yung parang sinabi ko kanina yung sa letter C, parang syempre, because na ituturo mo sa mga bata is parang letter K siya eh. The first one is listening for words that begin with the same sound, copying the number of syllables in words and phonemes in words, blending and segmenting words by syllables and sounds, segmenting and manipulating sounds and syllables. Ito na lang last. This involves taking words apart and changing the order of sounds or syllables to create new words. Like for example, yung cat. So, pag sinabi mo sa bata na palitan yung first sound ng letter D, syempre, ang alam nila doon is that. Sa writing naman tayo, writing is a complex process that involves generating ideas, organizing thoughts, and expressing them in a clear and coherent manner. For learners with specific learning disabilities, writing can be challenging, requiring tailored approaches that address their individual's needs and learning styles. Mayroon tayong mga effective learning strategies for improving students' writing and reading comprehension skills na magbe-benefit sa kanila. The first one is provide standards for writing assignments. Dito yung pagbibigay ng rubric. Kasi, syempre, yung pagkakaroon ng clear expectations yung mga students kung saan yung isusulat nila, kung ganong kahaba, or yung format and yung content. This helps students understand what is expected of them, and it allows them to focus their efforts on meeting that expectations. Next is teach students to recognize parts of a story. Ito naman, tinutulungan mo yung estudyante na maintindihan yung mga different elements sa story. Like for example, yung character, setting, plot, conflict, and resolution. Establish a post office. Dito naman, feel ko masaya kasi and engaging. Syempre kasi mas ma-encourage mo yung students na magsulat ng letter and ma-enhance yung or practice nila yung writing skills nila. And after that, syempre yung mga letters sa post office, pwedeng ibigay ng teacher sa kung kanino kabilong yung letter na yun. In teach visualization naman, this involves teaching students to create mental images sa kung ano yung sasabihin mo. Like for example, sabi mo sa kanila, pumikit sila and isipin nila na nasa garden sila and maraming flowers and butterflies. So, parang pag na-imagine nila yun, kaya na nila yung i-drawing. And last, require students to proofread their own work. Parang katulad lang to ng sabi ko kanina sa reading instruction, yung instruction and practice in editing, kung saan tuturuan mo yung students to know how to check their writing for errors, grammar, spelling, and punctuation. In math computation, it refers to the skills involved in carrying out mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Etong math computation, ito yung mas challenging sa mga students with specific learning disabilities. Siyempre, tayong mga college students na minsan sa math computation talaga yung kahinaan natin. So, let's proceed with teach students to recognize patterns in math. Dito naman, tuturuan mo yung mga students para ma-identify nila kung ano nga ba yung pattern sa isang mathematical operations. Like for example, yung sequence ng numbers, yung mga even numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8. So dito, pag tinanong mo sila, yung sasagot nila na pattern is maiisip nila na yung idinadagdag lang per number is 2 every time na nilipat to. And yung sa susunod naman is per students for math activities. Ito naman, ginugrupo sila into 2. Like, para may kasama silang mag-aral and discussion ng problems to develop their collaborative and problem-solving skills. Syempre, yung pagdidiscussion nila, nagkakaroon din ng peer tutoring. Review and be sure students understand math symbols. Ito namang teach ni Monix for basic computation is like, alam niyo ba yung PEMDAS, syempre. So, yung PEMDAS, it stands for parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. Yung use real-life examples of money skills. Dito naman yung real-world situations that makes learning more relevant and engaging. Sa use colored-coded arithmetic symbols naman, ito yung, syempre yung mga symbols, like yung sa addition, subtraction, and multiplication. Iba-ibang color yung gagamitin mo sa kanila, like yung sa subtraction is color red, ganyan. Use calculators to check basic computation naman. We all know that calculators is a valuable tool for checking answers and makakapag-build din yun ng confidence na syempre alam ng students tama yun kasi calculator na yun and hindi na malaki yung chance na magkamali. However, dapat may limits lang din dahil pwede doon na sila mag-rely and much better if sa mga primary levels yung paggamit ng like sa amin dati yung mga popsicle sticks. Siyempre kapag like yung mga basic lang addition and subtraction, madali mo lang doon magagamit kasi babawas and dadagdagan mo lang and malalaman mo na agad yung sagot. Provide board games to practice basic computations naman. Dito yung like for example yung snake and ladders. Di ba kapag ni-roll mo yung dice doon, like for example dumaan yung lumbas is number 2. Edi alam nila kung ilang moves yung gagawin nila sa board. Sa schedule, computer games to practice basic computations naman. Syempre hindi naman pwedeng laging puro sa board lang or like traditional way of teaching. Pwede din natin gamitin or i-integrate yung mga yung technology. Like for example, yung kapatid ko na 8 years old, may laro siya na hindi ko alam kung anong app yun. Pero hindi siya mag-proceed sa next level kapag hindi niya nasagot yung basic computation ng na-compute. Ayun. Have students perform drills. Ito naman is a traditional way to practice basic math facts and improve computational speed. Like for example, yung sa amin nung elementary kami, gumagamit kami ng window cards. Di ba yung window cards yung parang paper na may mukhang butas-butas. And binibigyan kami ng time, like for example, 1 minute lang. Kailangan masagutan mo yung 100 na addition, ganyan. Like that. Next is solving math word problems. Solving math word problems involves understanding the context of problem, identifying the relevant information, and applying mathematical concepts to find a solution. For learners with specific learning disabilities, word problems can be particularly difficult, requiring strategies that break down the problem into smaller steps, provide visual aids, and emphasize clear communication. The first one is read the problems. The second one is use clue words, use guided questions for word problems, use real-life examples of word problems, and allow calculators for students to check word problems. Behavior intervention, it is second to the last na. Ito naman yung pagkakaroon ng behavioral intervention techniques or strategies kung paano mong para makakontrol yung isang pangyayari sa room, like yung mga disruptive behaviors. It is the use of positive and negative reinforcement, to improve the manifestations of desirable behaviors or modify undesirable behaviors. The first one is selectively ignore inappropriate behaviors. Ito yung, like, for example, yung simpleng pag-scratch lang na ganyan sa table ng students. Hindi naman siya disruptive masyado, or it is just a minor, lang. So, pwede mo siyang ignore and then address it directly, kasi yung pag-ignore it can reduce the frequency na hindi agad sa time na yun, kasi sa sobrang kapag binabawal mo, mas yung ibang students mas lalo silang nagkukulit kasi yung iba gusto lang ng attention. So dapat habaan mo na lang yung pasensya mo. The second one is remove nuisance items. Ito naman yung alisin mo yung mga toys or materials na nakaka-distract sa kanila. Like for example, di ba sa students sa elementary, uso yung mga binibili lang sa labas na tigmumura. Like yung Jolens or textbooks, ganyan. So yung ito pinakamaingay yung Jolens. Kapag sa room, nilalaro nila or tumatalbog sa sahig, pwede mong i-confiscate yun kasi nakaka-distract na yun sa klase. The third one is provide calming manipulatives. Ito naman yung pagkakaroon ng or pagbibigay ng object sa kanila para makontrol nila yung or ma-regulate nila yung emotions and reduce their anxiety. Like, parang kabaligtaran naman siya ng number 2 na remove nuisance items. Ito naman, bibigyan mo sila ng parang items na pagbigay ng focus sa kanila. The fourth one is allow for escape valve outlets. Ito naman yung like pagbibigay ng break time para mga 15 minutes or 10 minutes para magkaroon sila ng relaxation. Provide actively reinforcement naman is it involves the rewarding positive behaviors with activities that child enjoys. This help reinforce desired behaviors and encourages the child to repeat them. Kuwari kung sino yung pinaka nagbe-behave ng mabuti or yung sagot ng sagot sa mga activity or games, pwede mo silang bigyan ng reward. Dito naman sa conduct parent conferences is makatutulong din to kasi yung collaboration ng teachers and parents ay nagkakaroon sila ng sharing of information and nagde-develop yung kung paano mo kung paano mo dapat i-approach talaga yung behavior ng children or yung child nila, kasi sila parang pwede silang magtulungan to support the students at home and at school. Implement peer mediation naman, ito lang yung simpleng pag-resolve or resolution ng conflict na nakapag-promote ng positive and social interactions between students. And yung use visual cues. Ito naman yung sa pagkakaroon nila sa pagsasagot ng activities, gamit ka ng visual timer para makita nila kung hanggang saan lang yung limits. And yung maximize proximity control, use of hand gestures. Like for example, kapag may tinawag ka sa recitation and hindi sila makasagot masyado, just lang, parang ngitaan mo lang sila or make a thumbs up, ganyan, that to make them feel that everything is okay. Andito na nga tayo sa last part, which is the classroom accommodations. These are the adjustments made to the learning environment to help students with disabilities succeeds or focus. It is designed to help students learn in a way that best suits their individual needs. The first one is structure a classroom that promotes safety, care, and positive learning atmosphere. Ang ibig sabihin lang nito is, as a teacher, kailangan natin mag-create ng welcoming and supportive environment kung saan mafe-feel ng mga students na safe sila matuto and mag-explore. Consider assigning a seat where there is a low distraction. Ito naman yung makatutulong sa students na mabilis ma-distract. Like for example, yung pag-place sa kanila sa malapit sa front ng classroom or sa board, kasi doon kapag nasa likod ka, mas marami kang bagay na pwedeng makita na nakaka-distract. So mababawasan yung focus mo ng mga students na talagang disruptive ang behavior. So ensure that the students feel comfortable with their seats na sila yung papapiliin mo based on their preference. Nakatabi ko sa sila mas comfortable. And yung use a pointer to visually track written words on the slides or page. Ito naman yung elementary kami may teacher na gumagamit ng tawag dito, laser. Minsan pinupoint niya lang sa board, pero syempre kitang-kita mo yung point nun na color red. So, masusundan mo siya. And you'll use a timer to keep the students aware of the amount of time they will be working. Provide extended time for learners with administering a test. Kapag like mahirap yung exam, pwede kang mag-adjust na hindi lang isang oras, pwede mong dagdagan ng 30 minutes para mabawasan din yung pressure sa kanila and mas ma-demonstrate nila yung knowledge without feeling rushed. And yung allow students multiple ways for students to present their work and respond to questions. This allows students naman to express their understanding in ways that best suit their strengths and learning styles. That's all. And before I end this presentation, ang masasabi ko lang na knowledge na napulot ko dito is, as a future teachers, yung mga educational approaches na to makatutulong sa atin para alam na natin yung gagawin natin sa future and aware na tayo sa mga strategies na dapat gawin to improve the learning environment of students, especially with yung mga students with specific learning disabilities. Once again, I am Reyes Christine from Bisag 2B. Thank you for listening and God bless.